heavy, that's gravitas. And yet it's so silly what he's saying. Salt and corrosion, the all-time enemies of a crime fighter.
Here, take my bat radio. I looked it up this morning. That class of missile receives on a wavelength of 164.1. I'd say the odds against it would make even the most reckless gambler cringe. True, I did think I'd spotted it out of the corner of my eye.
Let's go. But inconspicuously. Through the window.
True, Robin. It was.
How could Batman do anything inconspicuously through a window? I mean, and not to mention the great scenes where they're climbing up the side of a building, hand over hand, and it's him and Robin, and they're both just like using a rope and climbing up the side of the building. Classic television.
It was noble of that animal to hurl himself into the path of that final torpedo. He gave his life for ours. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Oh, man. Story of my life.
Nevertheless, shall we give this matter further consideration over dinner tonight?
Indeed, Al.
Ooh, romantic Batman. Romantic Bruce Wayne. Shall we give this matter consideration? He was so damn smooth, wasn't he? He was so damn smooth. Even into his elder years, he's so damn smooth. I wish I could be that smooth.
I've rarely met a girl who's such a potent argument in favor of international relations. How strange. I close my eyes and I dream of something quite astonishingly different.
And all my days are trances, and all my nightly dreams are where thy dark eye glances, and where thy footstep gleams. Miss Kitka, I have the strangest feeling that I am about to be utterly and madly carried away. Do we dare?
Why not?
Yes, of course, why not?
Only Adam West can deliver those lines. Only Adam West can put forth those verses of Shakespearean beauty. And in the spirit of the show, it was absolutely fabulous.
Of what use is a dream, if not a blueprint for courageous action? Capitalists like myself who carry large sums of money often have such safety contrivances. Show me Miss Kitka, or I'll wreck this place with my dying breath.
Wreck this place with my... Okay, with my dying breath? Wow. That's got to be some strong breath, man. Liver and onions. Maybe perhaps some postnasal drip. Strong breath. Damn. But there's also that capitalists such as myself carry large sums of money. I mean, there was a lot of social commentary in these if you do listen closely.
You filthy criminals. Surrender! You criminals! You abominable outlaws. Batman to Coast Guard. Batman to Coast Guard. There's a drifting submarine 2 miles east of Sandy Nose Lightship.
You know, I tried that Batman to Coast Guard shit before. All it got me was arrested.
It's filled with human jetsam.
They may be drinkers, Robin, but they're also human beings.
It's a low neighborhood, full of rum pots. They're used to curious sights, which they attribute to alcoholic delusions.
Whoever dehydrated those pirates could not have foreseen their accidental rehydration with the heavy water we use in recharging the atomic pile.
Oh, let's talk about some education right there. If you dehydrate pirates and you flood them with heavy water used to recharge atomic matter, you will get rehydrated pirates. Why isn't anybody working on this?
Saw it yourself, Robin. The slightest impact was sufficient to instantly reduce them to antimatter.
No, Robin. No. It's not for mortals like us to tamper with the laws of nature. Let that be an object lesson in the dangers of tampering with the laws of Mother Nature.
United World Organization.
Precisely, Robin.
You mean...
Precisely, Robin. Precisely.
Precisely, Robin. The only possible meaning.
Let's commandeer a taxi.
No, Robin. Brace yourself, Robin. We're going down. This could be the end.
They don't commandeer a taxi, they commandeer a helicopter. This show was so ridiculous in all of its lacks of logic that it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful with its lack of logic. It was beautiful. And I miss this show, although I do believe it's out on Blu-ray DVD. There's about 6 seconds left. I'm going to play it out.
Our job is finished.
Our job is finished, indeed. Adam West off the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Adam West passing away today at the age of 88. Some wonderful clips there that I tried to frame as well as I could with my commentary, but they were, meant for the radio. They weren't meant for the radio. They were audio clips, obviously. So, and this is interesting. Twitter is red. That's very interesting. So Adam West, as I mentioned, did have a bit of a lull there for a while in his career because Batman was basically his thing. I mean, he had a huge cult following, at least the show did, all throughout history, but it was never really, as when the show was running, it was never really as popular until later. I mean, it was great, but yeah, the show's wonderful. And you can probably find it on Amazon, as I said before. Now, if you'll pardon me, I'm just trying to find somebody who I promised I would forward this show to. So I'm just looking at this right now. But anyway, as Adam West continued, he was in and out of the spotlight. He had various different... He was on the Love Boat, believe it or not. He was on the Love Boat as one of their guests who... I guess you could say... felt the magic of the Love Boat. And I think he was on Fantasy Island too. He was on all of these really interesting shows. And, he made the scene as a guest star. I believe he was, if anybody can remember the name of the cop show he was on, that'll be great information for me in the chat. If you remember what he was on, let's see here. There was okay, we're looking in the chat here. Farrah Fawcett, crush on Michelle Pfeiffer. Catwoman was hot. Yes, she was. And Samantha. The best Catwoman, though, I have to say, was Anne Hathaway. I'm a big fan of the Dark Knight trilogy. Huge fan. And I got to say, she was the best. But this is about Adam West. This isn't about... Batman and the Batman culture as a whole. This is about Mr. Adam West. So, as I said, in the 80s, he was part of a cop show. I remember that. I wish that I had the name of the cop show he was on. If anybody wants to help me in the chat room, I wish that they would do that. So, okay, I've done my good deed for the day. I've shared the podcast with someone I promised to share it with. So, this is going to sound funny when it goes on the actual podcast when I clip it up. So, the next portion of Adam West's career where he was very well known was where he was on Family Guy. Family Guy, that's right. And the great thing about Adam West, as I said, there's all of this fucking ego in Hollywood about being typecast and being thought of as a fool and whatnot. Tom Cruise, for instance, earned a lot of my respect and earned a lot of my admiration, despite his weird behavior, when he played in Tropic Thunder. Remember, he played the I think it was the Jewish manager of the actors, and he was barely recognizable. You couldn't really see who he was, but he was just awesome. He just was so funny. I mean, absolutely just falling over dead funny. And the funny thing about that is that you don't expect it from Tom Cruise. You expect Tom Cruise to be one of those guys who is going to, who's going to be one of these guys who takes himself too seriously. But Tom Cruise took that role, and I earned a lot of respect for Tom Cruise. Or Tom Cruise earned a lot of respect from me for that, because he was able to laugh at himself. Adam West knew what he was. Adam West knew who he was. He knew what type of actor he was. He wasn't going to be the most serious actor. He wasn't going to be the leading man in the Charlton Heston mold. They tried that. It didn't work, unfortunately. So he became a camp actor, and he embraced that with a series of B-movie roles in the 70s and 80s, and some in the 90s. Had a lot of work at comic book conventions, of course. And, of course, his role as Mayor Adam West on Family Guy, which he explains and describes as a complete exaggeration of his own personality. But he just does it so well. And just for being able to understand the spirit of Seth MacFarlane's humor and not taking himself too seriously, Adam West really gained my respect by taking that role. I love anybody who can act, who can act themselves, you know what I mean? And laugh at themselves. I've laughed at myself a lot. And I just absolutely fucked my computer. Okay, there we go. I got it clear. You have to laugh at yourself, and you have to know what you're good at, and you also have to know what you're shitty at. You also have to know what your limits are, and you have to know where you are as far as acting or whatever you do. You have to know what your limits are. You have to know what you're good at, and Adam West knew that all too well, as referenced in his role of Mayor Adam West here on the Random Internet Radio Show.
Excuse me, Mayor West?
How do you know my language?
Listen to me. My entire future is in your hands.
Are you Sarah Connor?
No, I'm Meg Griffin. See, I need to interview you and...
You're with the press?
Yes?
Well, you can't interview a dead man, can you?
Okay, so we have the press to blame for this shit? So we have the press to blame for this. The press to blame for Adam West's death. Thank you, press. First, you fuck over the election, you fuck over people with your silly nonsense, and now you've killed Adam West. Fuck you, media.
For an hour, and I don't have anything I can use for my article. Can you just please...
My God! Somebody's stealing my water.
It just went down the drain.
They're crafty, I tell you. It happens when you least expect it. Show yourself, damn you! I've been investigating him for months. It's cost $150,000 of the taxpayers' money, but I'll find the culprits if it costs me $1 million.
I love that scene because he watches the water go down the drain, but he's also pouring it into a plant, and he's screaming at the plant, damn you! I mean, this guy knew who he is, knows who he is, knows how he's thought of, and he does it well. God bless Adam West.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to join these two in holy matrimony. If anyone objects to this union, speak now, or forever hold your peace.
Quiet down. You had your chance.
Okay, to frame that clip a little bit, that is Adam West marrying a hand sock puppet. Marrying a sock puppet, and not the type that Apocalypse tends to create. Apocalypse is a member of the Spreaker community. We'll be talking about Spreaker Drama a little bit later in the show. But yes, that basically he's getting married to a hand puppet, and he's telling his other hand, quiet, you had your chance.
That's it. We have to fight fire with fire. If nuclear refuse gave them superpowers, it could do the same for me. Citizens, I'm off to the toxic waste dump.